Anyway,
Okay.
hi Deji.
Hey, Anne. Can't believe I'm seeing you here in LA.
Welcome to LA.
This is amazing. This is amazing. And we are at, what's this place called?
Cousins.
Cousins.
Maine Lobster.
Maine Lobster. And so we've got here some fries, sea fries,
Sea fries.
not chips, as I've.
Correct.
I nearly made the mistake because they had chips on the menu.
Yes.
I'm like, what's the difference between chips and sea fries? I'm thinking like a Brit. And then
Fried clams.
fried clams.
Delish. This is lobster tots.
Oh wow! And then
Your
the
lobster
roll.
roll.
And also some chowder.
There you go.
Okay, and
Maybe you need a spoon. Oh, you have.
yeah, I've got the spoon there.
And here's your crackers.
Oh wow!
That traditionally goes with the chowder.
You just put it in.
Yeah, you just
Oh
pour
wow!
them in.
Okay. And I'm very excited that you chose this place because it was on Shark Tank.
That's right.
Amazing.
The winner on Shark Tank. And,
Wow.
to huge success, and yeah, they started off as a company that would ship lobster to you, and after they went on Shark Tank, they just started making millions.
Wow.
So, as a foodie,
So I've got my plan in place. When I move into LA, what I need to do is go on Shark Tank with Bats, right? Okay, so Anne is a long-term friend from Shanghai, and we met on the theatre circuit, I guess, and I was involved in quite a few shows that Anne put on.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, just maybe give a quick introduction of what you did in the business that you opened in China.
As I chew.
Mm.
I started a company called Urban Aphrodite back in 2012. When I got to China, I realized that I wanted to not let go of my theater background. And then I saw some great people, much as yourself, who were very talented and very keen and eager to do some theater. So started out in 2012, and then I became the first registered theater company in China.
Wow.
But yeah, we ended up doing over 50 productions, and
Wow.
even after I left, I handed the reins over to a team that did another production, which is really good. You know, so I feel I have really good feelings about that experience there.
It is, man, especially the arts.
Yeah.
Actually, so obviously I've opened a restaurant, I've been doing food.
Yeah.
I'd say those two are probably two of some of the most difficult industries you can try and get into.
Yeah, the arts
in
and
China.
restaurant.
Like, in some ways, actually, there's things that make it easy to get into it, but also there's a lot of barriers, right? So the arts and theatre scene, and even now, I find is quite even worse. Apart from a catch-up, the idea is we're going to talk a little bit about running a business in China,
Okay,
because both of us have both had businesses in China.
correct.
So I thought we can go through our top 3 best things about having a business in China and the 3 worst things about having a business in China. I don't know if you've had a chance to have a think.
I have. I've thought about it, and do you want to go worst or you want to go
Yeah,
best?
I think
You wanna
let's go.
worst?
Let's go from worst to best.
Okay, first of all, there's a huge difference in business culture. So, where I'm an American, and so as an American, we tend to be very formal with our business meetings, and they're usually in the morning, and they're in an office space, and they usually go on for a long time. But when I started going to meetings in China, I started noticing that I was going to a lot of bars and nightclubs and restaurants, and spending money. You spend a lot of money on meetings in China, and as an entrepreneur who's just starting off, it could be rather alarming to go to as many meetings as you have to in order to create alliances and network and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing. Obviously, the language barrier. I know anybody that's going into a foreign country is always a little bit apprehensive about diving into the language for fear of making mistakes. And, you don't necessarily have to learn Mandarin in China, but it's a good thing to be able to be at least conversational.
Yes.
Because it creates guanxi, or what we call,
Relationship.
relationship.
Yep.
it shows that you've made an effort to reach out. And I guess the third thing for me, a difficult part of doing business is there are opportunities for you to be taken advantage of. You're told one thing and then things change much quicker in China than they do, and usually without your permission or knowledge. So, there's an agreement made one kind of way and you sign a contract and, then you discover down the line that that's not exactly what is happening. So that's a little disheartening, but let's just go to the good things.
So I'm going to go very quickly. My top 3
bad things.
Worst parts of trying to open a business. One is just lack of information about the process of what you need to do. I mean, I'm talking like years it's taken me to try and understand the landscape to try and get a legal entity. I didn't want to be running a company that was illegal.
No,
but
me either. Which is why it took a year to get registered.
Exactly, but then that's the funny thing. So you're like, okay, I want to try and do the right thing. I want to get a company set up properly, but getting proper information is so hard. Yeah. So like in the UK, you go on whatever.gov.
Yeah.
And they'll have all the steps. So I don't know. I want to open a restaurant. Step 1, you must do this. Step 2, file this. Step 3, China, it was so hard. So that was one of the things I found really hard. Second worst part of doing, I think that things can be quite unpredictable, right? So, especially we said it's hard to get information. Things change a lot. There's a lot of what I call grey. There's black, white, and then there's a wide grey in China.
Big grey.
A big grey. So it's like things need to get done. You sit with someone, they're like, well, I think this is the way we could do it. It's not this is the way it's normally. It's just this is the way I think we can do it, right? And then next thing you know, laws have changed, things, and suddenly what you've done is a setup.
Literally on a dime, things change.
Honestly. So that was what happened with my first restaurant, right? It closed after a year.
It was so good. It was so delicious.
Because of the changes in law, and next thing I know, they've come in and said, sorry,
we're taking the building.
Yep, this is not allowed to be a restaurant. You have to close. So that was number 2. Number three. Again, it's probably to do with policy, movement of money.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm still trying to move money.
Oh, really?
Trust me, I have bills there. Can't pay because I can't get money in.
No. Exactly. So moving money in or out can be
stressful.
Can be very difficult.
It's stressful.
Whereas if you're in, I don't know, whether it's the US or even UK, it's a lot more internationally connected. It's easy to move your money around. That helps. Okay.
It helps.
So, the 3 best things about setting up a business in China. What's your number 3? So we'll go one each.
Number 1, I think, is you gain the respect of Chinese people because they see that you're committed to making something of yourself in their country. You're not just there to kind of siphon off the energy of the city, specifically Shanghai. Then I think you gain respect. You get your a higher guanxi from that. Yeah, I think that's my first one.
Okay. I think my first one would be barrier to entry. I don't think I would ever have opened a restaurant in the UK. For all sorts of reasons.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. For all sorts of reasons. But firstly, the environment anyway. There's a lot of people who are very driven, both in the international circuit and local as well.
Yeah.
But obviously you're in a land that produces so much of the world's whatever.
Everything.
Clothing, equipment,
Everything.
So you can get quite cheap produce very quickly. I was able to do the initial steps quite cheaply, test the waters, and know that okay, it's a product that people like. It very quickly becomes very hard, but the initial stepping in I felt was much easier than if I was in the UK.
That's good. That's really good. I guess my second positive thing is the people that I've met. Like you said, the people that choose to come to Shanghai, China, Shanghai specifically, are usually people who are well versed at being on the grind. So you meet very hard-working people. They party hard too, but they also work very hard. So the work ethic there, I think it was better than the average American work ethic, which was exciting for me because, you know, I'm a bit of a beast and I don't tire easily. So when you're building something from the ground up, you really need people who are going to be committed and who, as much as they can, to fulfilling all the responsibilities of what it takes to build something.
Wow.
He's a star.
Oh, really?
On your camera.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, my second would be learning the language. My Chinese really...
You speak Mandarin.
Yeah, but you know what? It really improved when I had the business and I had employees.
I bet it did.
Because, of course, I had to try and converse with them, and that's when it really went up. Before that, you know, I had book learning of Chinese. I could kind of read a bit, but I actually couldn't speak very well. So for me, I loved being able to improve my Chinese.
Do you consider yourself, is that another language that you know now?
Yeah, no, yeah.
So you're a polyglot. 4?
No, I wish I could say it. If I really pushed it, I'd say 4, but it's not really. English, Chinese, Yoruba, which is my mother tongue, and I did learn German in school. So I think for German, I'd have to go back and be there for like 3 months,
right,
and then come back. I've got the very basics, but it would be a push to say I can speak it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, number 3.
One of the better things that China offered me was, you know, I had an opportunity to do 2 TED Talks, and I was in China's highest grossing film of all time.
Oh, yes! Yeah!
So if I had been an actor here in LA, for instance, and I wasn't even wanting to be an actor, I just got this call and ended up being in a huge feature film. I don't think that would have happened in the States. And I don't think that I would have been plucked to give a TED Talk, but I'm so unique there. You know, this African-American entrepreneur, female, that's there is a unique thing, whereas in America, it's not so unique. So I think that was a real big plus, and I really treasure that, and I'm so glad that I got a chance to do those things.
That was amazing. So what's the name of the film?
Wolf Warrior 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, incredible.
On Netflix.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay. Let's try and
Give
find
it a
that.
watch.
My number 1 thing would be being in I found quite a supportive environment. A lot of the entrepreneurs and people are hustling, especially as foreigners.
Yeah.
You really understand how hard it is.
Yeah.
And I found there was a good network of entrepreneurs in particular who were quite supportive of each other.
True.
So it's a great place to go and learn, to try, to fail, to have people around who be there to support and help. Again, I don't know that it'd be quite the same in the UK. I don't know, we Brits can be a bit cynical.
Yeah.
Whereas I found, maybe it's much more similar to US, but I just found it, really encouraging environment. I would have given up actually a long time ago. I'm still running the business because of other people,
right.
Not really because of myself. It was truly down to me. There was numerous times I've been like, yeah, I'm out. Honestly, but just, you know, the amount I speak to people and they're like, you know, what you're doing is really great. They're just really encouraging about it. They always, you know, give you some, even within the food and beverage environment, people are really, really helpful. So yeah, for me, it was a fantastic place to
really
try
great.
to. Yeah.
Well, to progress.
To progress.
Yes.
Okay, I think we're going to shut off the camera so we can just get on with munching food. And we'll do this
so
chat.
good.
But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And press that bell notification to be informed about next episodes.
Do it.
Thank you very much, Anne.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You're welcome.